Okay, welcome to day 4. So day 4 we need this. It comes in a pack like this. The bead women, people that sell beads, some of them make this themselves. So this is how it comes. These are the very big balls you see on that design, and it comes like this in a dozen. And I bought this dozen for 1,500. Then you can decide to use this. The chain, there are different types of chain. I bought a yard of this is like 500 naira, and there are different designs. This is the chain, and I'm going to use this. This is an expensive bead. I won't say expensive like that, but it's a quality bead, you know. It's not the regular bead we use every time, except for a special design. So we are going to be using as that middle point in the design. Then we are going to use we may use 1 or 2 of this just to play with it along the way. Then what we are going to use to connect the chain to the next chain, we are going to make use of 0.90. Yes, that's it. 0.90 mm of wires. We're going to use our copper wire 0.90 to connect each part of the chain and design to the next. You're going to see how it goes. This should be a very short session, hopefully. So I want you to take note of my head. Is a very big one. You can see what it looks like all the way down. It's a big one all the way down. So you can buy this head. I think I bought it for 2,500 or so, or 3,000 thereabout. So when we want to start, we are going to put it on the head and determine where we want to start from. Where do we want to start attaching that bead from? Once you determine it, you can decide to measure to make sure that it's standardized to a certain point. Let's say to this point, right? If you say to this point, let's measure so that we know that this is the part behind is the part that's going to be on the person's neck, and you are going to start putting the beads from here. We can also measure so that we are sure. Let me put my hands together so we can measure. It really depends, because this pattern is a kind of freestyle, so it will differ from person to person. Let's see. Okay, better see, why don't we just bring it out? Okay. So we have about 15 there, about 15 inches that's on this part. So we are going to start with that, knowing that it's 15. We are going to measure 15 inches on our chain, and we are going to open it up. Remember, the chains have, this is how they come. You can always open up the chains. Do you understand what I mean? If you look closely, there's a small hole we can always open. So now we know it's 15. Measure 15. That's it. So at that point, let me over this. Okay, so at that point of 15, I hope you can see, I'm going to open it up. You see what I'm doing with my, you see it has opened, it has fallen off. So once I open up, I'll close it back while I'm getting ready. So this is already 15, what will stay on the neck. So that's 15 inches. Can you see it? So now, if you look at that design carefully, it comes with this next. So now, because the hole is very big, you can either use a bead cap. If you remember bead cap from the last class, the wide bead cap, you can use a bead cap. Let me show you what it looks like. I know I showed you in the last class a bead cap. This is a bead cap. It's a different design from the one I used in the last class, but okay. So we can actually use a bead cap because the mouth, sorry, my tripod stand, this one's wavy. Because the mouth is big, okay, we can actually use a bead cap and pass it through, and it will stay. Pass the wire through, or yes, this copper wire, because that's what I need to pass through. We can either pass it through and it will stay, or we can actually put a bead. Find out if the bead can make it stay. If the bead will pass through, don't use it. Look for a bead that is big enough to stop it from passing through. If you look at this, it looks like it's okay, but it may still moving. I don't know if you can see it. It's just sitting right there in the middle. So who knows, with some wear and tear, maybe it will still move, right? So instead of using that, I'll use a big gold crystal bead to hold it. Now that's an alternative to using a bead cap. But if you look at that design, it was a bead cap they used, but I don't have enough of that bead cap, so I'm going to use an alternative, and I'll use a bead to close the mouth. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so let's start. So what I did was to put a small bead, enough to close that mouth. You know that mouth is pretty big, but this bead, once it goes there, it can stop the mouth. It won't go in, it won't fall in, but we keep it firm. The same thing I did for the other end too. So I put the 2 beads through my 0.90 wire. Once I have enough space on it, maybe not too much, just enough to wrap it round, I'll cut. Sorry, my tripod. Behave. Okay, so I'm going to cut. So once I cut, remember I have the 2 on the 2 ends, and it's to stop it from moving. What I'm doing is to prep all the patterns I'm going to be using. Let's see. I want to prep all the patterns I'll be using. So it's a bit too big, but no worries. I'm just going to prep it down. You see what I'm doing with my flat mouth? I want to make it into like a hook. Okay, the same thing for the other end, like a hook. And I'm not going to close it firmly, but remember we're still going to pass it through the chain. So like a hook. Look at what I've done, like a hook, right? So I'm going to do this for about 6 of the beads, 6 or 8 of the beads. I'm going to do this quickly. This is what I've gotten for now. What I did was what I showed you. I passed my copper wire. Remember my copper wire? I passed a certain amount that is able to have extra at the back, and I passed it through this already made bead. And before I passed it through, you can see I put a bead there, a gold bead, to make sure it doesn't fall in. So that gold bead, I have it on the 2 sides. See, it spots the bead somewhere inside there. Pardon my camera. Okay, so that's it. So I have this ready. So I have 8 of this ready. If you look at that necklace, we have 8 of this, and then we also have 8 of this one as well. This one is also a very good bead, very good bead. It's quite expensive, very good bead. And then I put my wires through. This bead cost about, I think, 1,000 naira per string. It comes like this, 1,000 naira per string. So that's it. So I've put 8 pieces as well. If you count the design, also there are 8 pieces as well. So what we are going to begin to do now is to cut this one into one. You know, it's a chain of many. We are going to cut them into one units. So because we'll attach it to 1 unit of this. We'll take this, attach 1 unit to it, and attach this one, and attach 1 unit of this, like that, one unit. So we are going to detach this one into one unit. Maybe we detach about 10, and then we start fixing. It's very fast actually. This design is very fast to make. Okay, so I've detached this the chains. I've detached this chain into little bits, one like that. I've detached quite a number of them. So now it is time to join. This design is just basically joining. Once you've gotten them ready, you've gotten the big ones ready, 8 of them, gotten 8 of these ones ready as well. Okay, once you have that ready, the next thing, you get your chains ready, and then we are ready to join. So come with us, let's join. Okay, so we are ready to join. So I'm going to put, this part of the chain, this is part of the chain, this is the one I've made. I'm going to try and pass it through. If it's not passing through, just open this one, just let it enter the hole, that's all. Then we are going to close both ways. Close this one, make sure it's properly closed. Let's make sure this one doesn't fall. Let's even close this one first. Close this one, just push it down, make sure the edges are touching as much as possible. The edges are touching, that they cannot easily come out. Then we close this one. You see, we've not closed this one yet, so we're going to close this one. Make sure it's also touching its own edge as well. So you see, it's touching its edge. It's touching. So we're going to do the same thing for this one, this place as well. So open up, put a chain, part of the chain opening, pass it into it, close the chain first so it doesn't slip off. Close the chain, once it's closed, nothing can pass through. Then close this one as well. Now in that design, they basically intertwined this big one, this big bead with, or this small bead rather, with this bead combo, but remember with a chain in the middle. So now we've done this one, this is one combo ready. We just begin to add. Now we're going to open this one again, and we're going to pass it through this one. Open this one, just a minute. Okay, just a minute. So we open it, pass it through. Okay, close it back. So what we are just doing is joining. That's all. Joining. If you take a good look at it, it's already coming together. So but we have to make sure it's closed so that it doesn't lose on your client's neck or on your neck if you are the one using it. Make sure it's closed. That means the wires must be touching each other sufficiently. Make sure all the sides are closed before you go to the next set. So this set is ready. I hope you can see it clearly. This set is ready. So we are going to add our chain. Thank God it's open already. Okay, remember, big bead, small bead, big bead. That's how it goes. So I'm going to fix the big bead there. That's it. Can you see? Close the mouth. Make sure it's closed. Touching. They must be touching. Please, before you go to the next unit, make sure the unit you are working on is closed first. Once it's closed, you are sure it's closed, it can't fall off. They must be touching. Not nearly touching, touching. So you continue till when it is done. I'm going to continue this way till when I'm done with this set. And when I'm done with this bottom set that will be hanging here, I will just fix to that 15 inches we had earlier measured. So come along with me. Okay, so we are ready to close it now. Just one more left, but I just want to show you a live video of how I do it. See what I've achieved so far. So right now I've already kept 1, 2, 3. I'm counting the very big beads now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to put the 8th one now. I want to use 8. So let me show you a live demonstration so that it makes sense. Now this one ends with this one. Before it gets to this one, I'm going to put this one, and what connects all of them together is that chain hole. So I'm going to pass it through. Just a minute. Pass it through. Once I pass this one through, I also pass this one through. Once I pass the 2 through it, then I close. That's it. I close. That's it. Okay, once it's closed, I'm going to attach it to the next one as well. We always need we always need this chain. Remember, we have opened quite a number of them. Pass it through this side as well, and then since 2 of them are already in, we close. What do you think? That's the number I want to use. I want to use just 8. I'll use just 8 for it. I think in that design, I think they used, 9. I think I counted again, it was 9. So if I put it on my, this is what it looks like. So now I have this done. Let me adjust. Okay. Now I have this done. I am going to attach the plain chain we measured 15 inches. So I'm just going to attach it. So let's quickly attach it. 1 inch. So go to the very end of that 15 inches. Open it up. Let's see, is this the opening? Yes, this is the opening. We open it up. Once we open it up like this, we put that one through it. We've done that. And then we close it back. Once we close it back, we go to the other end. The very same thing we do. Go to the very end, is the end of it. Now look for which one is the open part. This is the open part. Can you see it? So I open it up and I pass this one through it. Once I pass, close it back. You work with your hands and the tool. Now our work is done. Easy, right? Now take a look. Our work is done. That's all. That's all. Our work is done now. What I would advise you do once you are done fitting it together is to go around and make sure there is no opening anywhere that it will lose easily. So I'm going to go around and make sure there's no opening anywhere. Now you understand why they had 9 beads there, because I have 8 beads. You see, it's not sitting well. But if I had 9 beads, the 9th one would be sitting gorgeously. If I had the 9th one here, it would be sitting gorgeously at this point. That's why they used 9 beads, but now it's 8 beads. It looks one kind. If you get my English, it looks one kind, but we can actually make it 9 beads. Then you see the difference. The 9th bead will just sit comfortably at the very bottom, and these 4 beads will sit here. And when I say beads, I'm referring to this very big one, and the 4 will sit here, and we sit very, very comfortably. But see what it looks like already. Should we add the 9th one? I'm not sure I want to. Should we add the 9th one? What do you think? Okay, so this is what the finished work looks like. Can you see? These are 15 inches of plain chain, and then I've fixed each one. Do you see the fixing? This is your bead. You are done. It's so fast. So once you have your materials, couple them little in little units, then couple everything together. We are done in about an hour plus. It could have been less, but I was busy with other things. So say this is it. So we are done. What do you think?